I want to review for you what our work has been for the last 40 years. It's been very exciting. And our work begins with a crucial distinction, vocabulary word, and it's on your handout: acquisition and learning. We think people have two different ways of getting better in another language. You can learn language, you can acquire language, and they're very, very different things. Acquisition we sometimes call the natural way, and a synonym for acquisition is picking up a language. I was in Mexico for a few weeks, and I picked up some Spanish that really means you acquired it. It's called the natural way. It happens subconsciously. While it's happening, you don't know that it's happening. You think you're having a nice conversation. You think you're reading a book. At the same time, you might be acquiring. Second, once you're finished acquiring, you're not always aware that anything has happened. The knowledge is represented subconsciously in your brain. Let me give you an example of that. What happens to you when you hear someone make a mistake in English? Has this ever happened to you? Of course, okay. When you hear someone make a mistake in English, can you always tell exactly what rule was broken? No, of course not. I can't either. Most of the time I can tell you. I'd say about, in my case, 95% of the time I can tell you. But the other 5% of the time, 10%, I have a feeling something was wrong, but I can't quite put my finger on it. That's acquisition. By the way, just so you won't feel bad that you can't tell every time when a rule was broken, as I told you, I can't either. And I have, believe it or not, a PhD in grammar. And I can't always tell what rule was broken. We think the ability to subconsciously pick up language is with us our entire lives. It never goes away. Children acquire first language, children acquire second language. The ability to subconsciously pick up language doesn't disappear at puberty, doesn't disappear when you get your ARP card. It's always there. The language acquisition device never shuts off. Isn't that nice? We can always acquire language. I'll tell you the story as we go on of a buddy of mine, Steve Kaufman, who speaks 15 languages. Wow, and he's the real thing. He says he did 8 of them between age 61 and 71. Jerry, when we get to be 61, we're going to work. We're going to start all these languages.